So today let's look at a couple of things. Actually, we'll start, we can listen to something here. You can hear this great new music track for WolfQuest 3. This is actually by, not by Tim Buzza, but by another musician here in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, Ben Woolman, who is good friends with Tim Buzza, and actually Tim brought him in to help create some of the tracks for Slough Creek almost 10 years ago. Some of that great Slough Creek music, some of that great guitar work. And so we brought him back in to help us with some WolfQuest 3 music, and Ben is an expert in finger-style guitar, and so that's the style you can hear now, with its just really intricate finger work on the guitar. That's about all I know, because I don't know much about music, except that it sounds fantastic, and we're so excited to have him back and bringing his amazing talent to the game. And if you like this kind of thing, he actually has a website. He has stuff on Spotify. He's got albums. You can go to benwoolman.net and check it out and hear a lot more of what he's done over the years. And you'll be able to hear it in WolfQuest 3 too. So I've turned off the normal game music here just so we can enjoy his music here for a little while as we run around. You might remember a few weeks ago we asked for ideas on naming the elk herds, because as you've been playing the game, discovered that with a much bigger map and 18 or so elk herds out there, that it can be hard to know what scent is coming from which herd. And if you're tracking scents, it's very helpful to know which herd is emitting each scent, so you don't get waylaid or distracted by scents from different herds. So we got a lot of great suggestions, some really fun ones like the Buck Street Boys, a lot of good ideas across the board. So we finally settled on using the names of natural objects, natural features in Yellowstone National Park. Plants and grasses and bushes and eventually trees and maybe geology as well. We really like this idea because WolfQuest is all about being out in nature, and those are part of that. So it's cool to bring those names into the game in this way. Elk, of course, eat vegetation, so they like the idea. And there's a lot to choose from. One thing, we have a lot of elk herds in each map, and so we need a large pool of names to draw from. And there are a lot of different vegetation species in Yellowstone, so that gives us a very big pool. So we're not likely to run out anytime soon. So thanks again for all the ideas and suggestions. It was fun to look them over and pick out the final ones that we're using in Amethyst Mountain. And so when you're trying to track down and hone in on a particular elk herd, it's I think going to be helpful to have these labels, and then you can get acquainted with the herds. Like, oh, the 9-bark herd is a big herd, or it's a small herd. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those. And so if you are looking for a particular kind of herd when you're hunting, that's going to be helpful information to get familiar with as well. So another cool thing you can see in here, we've got new tree species we've just added. This is called whitebark pine here. It's the dead tree here, and you can see a variety of them around here. Whitebark pine is a native tree species in the park, and it grows in upper elevations, so that's the summit of Amethyst Mountain, so the highest point in the game map is, I don't know exactly, it's about 9,000 feet, a little more than that, or about 3,000 meters. And these whitebark pines grow in the upper areas of this region, so around 8,000 to 9,000 feet, or 2,500 to 3,000 meters. It's kind of a sad story. These were thriving trees in the park until some years ago. I'm going to look it up. Here we go. Whitebark pine blister rust caused by the non-native fungus slowly damages and can eventually kill infected whitebark pine trees. There's also this native mountain pine beetle that decimates infested forests, and they like the large mature whitebark pine. And then climate change exacerbates these things. So the warmer temperatures allow the mountain pine beetle to reproduce in 1 year rather than in a multi-year cycle, so they come around more frequently. And in between 2006 and 2009, this resulted in an epidemic of mountain pine beetles. They killed 80% of the oldest whitebark pines in the park. So it's a sad story, life and death, but we're very glad to have these new trees created by a great tree artist, Toby Fredson. And he's working also on another tree, a very distinctive, craggy-looking whitebark pine that'll be kind of a hero tree that would be in a couple places in the map, and maybe a neat gathering spot. So all this is coming soon in WolfQuest 3.